When you talk about homelessness in Austin, every conversation I've ever been around, Mobile Loaves Fishes always comes up. And then the second thing out of their mouth is, it's that Alan Graham guy.
We were going down the stairs of this building across the street from the old St. John Newman. It was raining, it was me and him. And he basically said, you know, I've got this idea, I want to run by you. He started describing what he was thinking about doing, buying a truck and going out on the street and start helping the homeless.
Every supernatural miracle in the Bible all starts with man taking one very natural step. That's all we did, was we just took the step. And then God started filling in. He started bringing people into our sphere that had financial resources, that had engineering resources for land, that had political relationships to help bring those people to the table.
When you grow up around poverty and you see how it impacts an entire family and how it impacts an entire community, you can appreciate those folks who don't have to work in that space, but who choose to work in that space.
What makes Alan a very unique individual is he tells you exactly the way it is, and his heart is there. He's benefiting by seeing others around him benefit. Now that's a true leader, when you can do something, but others are going to benefit more than you, and you get great joy in doing something for somebody else, asking nothing in return, because it needs to be done.
I'm not sure that I know anyone else involved in civic and social issues in the city that has the dedication, the focus, the same mission-driven quality that Alan has. He had a challenge and a need that he identified that he was going to address, and there wasn't anybody in the world that was going to get in his way.
If you want to know anything about homelessness, you talk to Alan, or if you want to know about a solution, you talk to Alan, or if you want to know how to get things done, you talk to Alan. Alan has made himself the guy that gets things done in Austin for population that frankly was not loved.
I mean, Alan just doesn't know no. He doesn't know that there are limits. That means this huge, audacious vision for how do you bring all the people in a community together, people who don't have anything else in common, or they don't think they do. How do you bring them together around caring for people who have been forgotten? What's impossible to miss with Alan is he is doing the work God's called him to do, and he's going to do it.
Mobile Loaves Fishes has a deep, significant understanding of how to bring the gospel to a systemic problem, and it was led by an individual who was journeying with Jesus in such a way that God was literally leading a ministry forward. So it wasn't just a group of people trying to make a difference. It was actually something that I perceived ordained of God and moving forward and following God into territory that nobody else had done before.
Alan is charismatic, he's passionate, he comes from a core value of caring for his neighbors. What can we do to make a difference? And it doesn't get hung up on the egos, the policies, the planning, the politics. That stuff needs to take a back seat to what really makes a difference, to getting people food, getting people housed. What are those basic needs?
But I do remember him coming up with the idea. Actually, we were together at my ranch on the Community First idea, you know, and he just saw this old hunter's trailer that had been parked at this place and started dreaming it up. I promise you, within 6 weeks of that meeting, he had a site plan and a business plan on how to start Community First.
We actually went out to the property when they were had this idea on the 27 acres, and I remember walking, maybe like 30 of us, and I thought, oh my gosh, this guy, Alan Graham, is a nutcase. I mean, there is no way that they are going to have little tiny homes and all these homeless people are going to live out here. It was about 6 months, and I went back, and I remember going out there. They had a few homes, but they had the streets, and I just started crying. Like, what is going on? And it just, I mean, I get chills right now just thinking about it, because this man He answered God's call. I'm going to cry. He answered God's call, but then he made it happen.
It was so impressive to me when we were out building the first phase to walk by those individual home sites and see a sign from a Jewish synagogue next to a Riverbend Baptist, next to a University Methodist, next to a Bible church. It was honestly all the hands and feet of Christ coming together to serve the needy.
The thing I think that makes the village especially unique is if you show up there, it's impossible not to meet people you wouldn't have met otherwise. And then the thing you have in common is that you're both there. It's rare to find a place where people from all walks of life, faiths, convictions, interests, all come together and they're willing to really try to be their best selves.
Just watching the caretaking that goes on within the village, that's not normal. That doesn't happen in my neighborhood. That's not even happening in our church and in our small groups. So it's almost like you're going to a different country that has a whole set of caring attributes and engagement attributes. It's helpful to kind of open people's eyes. And then you start thinking, so these people were the people that I wanted to disappear from my point of view. I never wanted to see them. I didn't want to have any experience with them. And now I'm walking into this community where they've been given new life, and to realize, oh, that's the people that I wanted to hide from, that I didn't want to see. And now they're engaging me with this love. It's a phenomenal experience.
Alan has set this up in such a way where it's not just him. It's not about him. It's about you. It's about me. It's about the community. And he invites people to be a part of it. If you don't want to, fine. He can move on very easily. But if you want to, there's a place for you.
It has proven a concept. It has proven that if we put the resources together, we put a good management team together, we move in a strategic manner, that we can begin to solve problems that exist around the concept of poverty.
And I don't know how he does it to take an issue and a challenge that has been so overly politicized as to put us in a position sometimes where it's hard to move forward. Alan's managed to stay above that fray. It is a safe place for everybody in this community to go and contribute to the challenge that we face.
We hear sometimes in the homeless advocacy or policy world about self-sufficiency, self-responsibility. Folks on the street need to take responsibility. None of us are fully independent, self-responsible. I need my family. I need my friends. I need my colleagues and work and people from church. We are in this together. That is just a core part of Mobile Loaves' success.
Mobile Loaves and Fishes and Community First Village and Alan Graham have become a part of the culture of Austin. It's part of the positive, happy, joyous, successful culture of Austin.
Well, I don't think there's been anybody in Austin that has spoken as much truth and honesty, that is sincere and absolutely moves the needle like Alan has.
It is a part of who he is. It's a part of what he believes. It's a part of his purpose. And it is always wonderful to see someone who is operating within their purpose and is doing the things that he was put on this earth to do.
He has taken and owned one of the most significant challenges that this community faces and made it his own.
I mean, Alan's inspired practically a whole city to care about people who were forgotten. That's amazing. Now the big work is, all right, how do we inspire the next generation of people to carry forward what work he started?
I think Alan deserves to be recognized as the fellow who came, he saw, he experienced, and he did something about it. And no matter what challenges were in his way, no matter what obstacles he had to go around, he did it. He was focused on the end result. This is quite a hero. Alan is a hero.
We did not envision what we have today. There again, the good Lord was just take a step. Just take one step.
It's really almost unbelievable. It is a miracle of the loaves and fishes. It's just in current times. I've never seen Alan be fearful of anything because he knows God's got his back. That's what's really fueled him over the years. He doesn't fear this because he's got God behind him. It's a good thing to have.